Hi, this is Patty from Chic Scrapbook Boutique, and I have another technique for you. This is the painted rusted metal technique. I don't know if you can see that. It looks kind of rusty and kind of painted. So let's get started. What I did is I kind of prepped ahead of time. I painted the cereal box with craft paint, and I mixed the golden brown, chocolate bar, and I added a little bit of the metallic antique gold to the paint and mixed it all up, and it kind of makes like a rust color. And you're going to also need some white craft paint and like a cream colored craft paint. And of course your Claudine Helmuth multi-medium. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blob on my multi-medium right now, so you can see, and then we're going to heat it again. And you don't want to like cover the whole thing with the multi-medium. You just kind of want it in spots, and you want, because this is going to be where the white paint is going to go, and it kind of makes it look like the paint is like there's rust underneath the paint and it's bubbling the paint up. And like I said, you just want to blob it on. The more blobby, the more texture you get. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm just going to kind of scoot it down, because the last time I did this, actually, I'm going to flip my paper. Last time I did this, the multi-medium is kind of like a decoupage too, so it kind of glues your stuff to the surface. So, okay, so I'm going to heat it with the heat gun. Okay, you can see like it's all bubbly and it's still stuck to the paper, but it comes right off. You can see all like the texture, the bubbles on it. It is still a little wet, so you're gonna wanna, and I kind of just go around after I do that, and if there's big bubbles, I just kind of smoosh them down a bit. I don't know, it just gives a better effect than just bubbles. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your white paint And I use a stencil brush. And I just kind of, in spots, as you can see, where the white paint's going, I just dab it on. Because you kind of want it chunky because the paint's peeling. And I try to, you don't want it like a real wet brush. You kind of want it kind of dry. Otherwise, I don't know. It just doesn't look right, I guess. Okay. So then you're going to heat this and dry it, the paint, because we got to add more rust into it so it looks like a blended type of... Because rust kind of goes through white paint and it kind of gives a really funny effect. So I just kind of hit it with the heat gun. And then I'm going to grab another paintbrush here and it's kind of a dry paintbrush. And I'm doing the brown, the rust color. And I just kind of dab off some of the paint. And I'm just going to go through and just kind of dab in spots. Okay, then you're going to let that dry. And this is where the cream colored paint, and I'm using kind of a fanned brush. And I'm just going to dip my fan into the cream colored paint, and I'm going to get most of it off. And you can see I barely have any on. And I just kind of go over the whole thing as like a blend. And it kind of dingies up the white a bit. It gives it like an aged effect. So there is my finished product. Now this one's a little, every time you do this technique, it comes out different. That's more rusty than it is paint. And then this one that I did earlier is more paint than there is rust. So, you can play around, and if you don't like this, you can go over the brown paint with the white paint and it'll cover it up really well. And just play with it and get the effect that you're looking for. Thanks for watching.